Alright, guys. Our first video podcast. Good morning, beautiful people. Face reveal, dog reveal, all of it. This is the first video formatted podcast we're doing, so bear with me. The settings might not be perfect. I'll figure it out as I go. I don't have any lighting or like a professional mic yet. I have a good mic, and I'm grateful for it. But I did research on an exact mic that I want to have, and that is very expensive. So this camera already was a lot. So bear with me while I get all of the lighting and all of that stuff figured out. For now, we're just filming in natural daylight with as many lights as I can turn on, and we're going from there. It has been a wild past few weeks. If you're not aware of this, I filmed before I restarted uploading to the podcast. I filmed 4 weeks worth of content just because I wanted to make sure I'd stay committed to it. I didn't want to just I didn't want to just give up on it basically. And so I wanted to make sure it's something I actually wanted to do. And so, I need my Diet Coke right now. Anyway, so I was about 4 weeks ahead. At some point, I was 4 weeks ahead with the podcast. So if I did something, you guys would hear about it 4 weeks after it happened. Then it became 4 weeks, became 3 weeks, and so it became more so like a buffer, which was actually very helpful. Well, the past month, we have ran out of backups. So you guys are getting stuff in real time. Congratulations. Like right now, for example, the Olympics are, I'm sure they're wrapping up. The social media is flooded with Ilya Melina, I think. The figure skater. He's crazy good at what he does. Also severely depressed and stuff, it seems, which is so real. He's so real for that. I don't know, actually. I needed a Diet Coke about 30 seconds ago. Now the concept of a Diet Coke, I don't really know about that. But I don't know how I sit in this. Should I sit all slouched down? Should I sit all... I don't know. Is the camera making me look fat at all? I can see roughly. I can see myself roughly, but I can't see well. Yeah. Anyway, should I get a Diet Coke, chat? So yesterday, I should get a Diet Coke. It's all I can think about. Give me 1 second, chat. The winner takes it all. The nice part about this is y'all can still hear me even, it'd be even better. Forget a Diet Coke. Let's finish off this spray. You guys can actually hear me whenever I'm talking to you now. Previously, if I'm not right next to my mic, you wouldn't hear me. But now I'm sure y'all can hear me. I still have roses all over the place and stuff. We'll talk about Valentine's Day in a second. But while I make this, I can actually talk to you guys still. The audio listeners have no idea that I even stepped away at this point. I don't know. They might, just because the sound's gonna sound farther away. But yeah. Anyway, today we're drinking some zero sugar off-brand Sprite. I'd show y'all, but we don't do free advertising. Wow, this part's just way easier than a Diet Coke does. Anyway, lately I've been mixing this with syrups. It's been quite good. Let's try blackberry. I don't know, chat. It might be bad, it might be good. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But it's been pretty interesting. Why are they all red? Why is blackberry red? I mean, be so for real right now. Are blackberries red, chat? I need somebody to clarify that for me, because I know I'm colorblind, but I don't think I'm that colorblind. Okay, we're almost done. We just need a little spoon to mix it. And then bam, we're back. We have returned. So let's taste it. Taste test. I put too much syrup. I know. So Valentine's Day also just passed yesterday. And when I say I went all out, y'all, let's insert a clip. Can I insert a clip? Yeah, I think I could insert a clip. I'll try to insert a clip. And if you don't see a clip, I couldn't figure it out. But I'm sure I can figure it out. Anyway, I went all out. I have balloons, flowers, all of it. Rose petals. Ooh. Oh no, not in my drink. Yeah. I had tea lights as well, but I put those away so that the battery wouldn't die. I have different colors of balloons. Yeah. It was amazing, honestly. It was like the best Valentine's Day ever. I went like all out. I even got myself this necklace I'm wearing. It has my initial on it, because obviously I'm not in a relationship, y'all. I just do Valentine's Day for myself, and it was fantastic. Oh, it was perfect. It was so good. I got myself a little necklace with an L and wrapped it for myself because you know that Taylor Swift song where she says, "I want to wear his initials on a chain on my neck." Yeah, that. And so, yeah, it was a great Valentine's Day. It really was. I also got myself a little bear. Let me get the bear to show y'all. This is again the downside of me being able to step away and show y'all stuff is I'm going to stay stepping away showing y'all stuff. It's like show and tell. So this bear is like so Labubu coated. It came in a Labubu coated container. Let me decorate myself with some rose petals just for the aesthetic. The winner takes it. I just peeled all 3,000 of these by myself. Oh shoot. I straightened out these roses all myself. They all came bent, like, so I had to individually remove. There was also hot glue strings all over them. Total, I spent literally yesterday. I spent almost an 8-hour day just setting everything up. Anyway, so this is it. This is the little teddy bear. Say hello, hello. He's so cute. He has a little thing I could put him on, like a backpack or something. I don't really know what I'd put him on, but he's very cute. We'll have him sit here if he stays. I'm not confident that he'd stay. I don't think he'll stay, chat. He'll sit. You can't see him really, but oh, he fell. Anyway, yeah, I made a whole day out of it. It was fantastic, but I made chocolate dipped strawberries. I made vodka. I made vodka. I did not. I'm sorry. Does that say we've been filming for 27 minutes? That just can't be right. Right, guys? That right? Guys, have we been filming for 27 minutes? That can't be right? There's no way. We just started. No, there's no way. I don't believe that, but okay, we'll assume that's right. So that means I don't believe that, but okay. Anyway, and so sorry, I'm just too busy being doubtful. This is my puppy. What were we even talking about? I don't know. I don't even remember. Oh, I made chocolate dipped strawberries, so it was dark chocolate. I dipped some strawberries in some old dark chocolate that I had. I don't think the audio is hitting where it's supposed to be hitting. This is what I mean when I say y'all are gonna have to bear with me with all of this. But anyway, yeah, I keep losing track. So I'm dipping the strawberries. I dipped them in some dark chocolate, and it was so good. And they came out really well. Last time I made them, they were all like sweaty and stuff. But these ones were just like solid, rock hard. They were fantastic. Then I made some whipped cream or some vodka and I have a dog hair. Some vodka infused whipped cream, and I dipped the dark chocolate covered strawberries in the vodka whipped cream. It was so good. Y'all, I ate it up so fast. I ate it up so fast that like because through the whole day I was like sipping wine. And so I started. Let me just tell y'all. I started the day with mimosas. Okay, so at 8 a.m. I was pouring myself closer to 9, but I was pouring myself mimosas. But I tried to keep it light because I knew I kind of wanted to like drink throughout the day. But if I'm gonna drink throughout the day, then I can't be drinking full portions or whatever. And so I'd put just like a little bit of champagne and then a lot of orange juice basically. And it worked quite well. And so I started with sipping on those while I like unfolded the roses and stuff. And then I started drinking wine glasses. And I had probably like three, I want to say four wine glasses, but I don't think I drank the fourth. So yeah. Um, and I had like three mimosas, but again, that's with like no champagne in it at all, basically. Um, and it was a really good day. But then I was ending it. I wasn't feeling alcohol like crazy amounts. Like there's a once I get like to the level of what people consider drunk, I actually usually get pretty freaked out about it. And so I got a little bit freaked out by like I didn't get freaked out actually by the amount of drunk I was at. I was at like a buzz level, a pretty chill level of alcohol. Um, but then I devoured the vodka infused whipped cream, and that's when it just hit me all at once. And so yeah, it was fantastic. Um, I ate those while I admired all of the decorations. I have the again, you'll probably see it at least a little bit in the like clips I insert. But like I had everything just decorated, just all laid out, and just oh, it was beautiful. I cannot stop just looking at it. Like if y'all like look at my Instagram, it's just like all that it's all over my story. But anyway, I started the morning first though with I got the I was like, okay, I want a bouquet. I tried to get Amazon to deliver me a bouquet, but the only reasonably priced bouquet, or the only really bouquet I could find in general that was real flowers and not just like preserved or like plastic or whatever, was a ton of carnations. I love carnations actually. Okay, um, and it all kind of stemmed from some lore. Uh, it all kind of stemmed from I love the song Maroon by Taylor Swift because the poetry, chef's kiss. The figurative language, I should say more specifically. But yeah. And so she has a line where she says, "Carnations you had thought were roses." I just thought that was so poetic, and I've just loved carnations ever since. I can't say I've always loved them. I can't say I haven't always loved them. I've just always loved them ever since. Um, so anyway, I the winner takes it. Sorry, that song's stuck in my head. And so I was looking at the carnations Amazon would deliver, and they were really sad, and they were like $30 on sale, and it was like 20 of the baby carnations, not even like normal carnations, the little like pom poms or whatever they call them. And I was like, no. And so I decided in the morning, I was like, I'm just gonna get my own bouquet. I was actually going to go to Fry's to get it, but I would call, and my mother said Albertsons has the best flowers. So I drove all the way to Albertsons, even though it is not convenient. And I, dang, now I want Buffalo Wild Wings. 30 minutes of Logan just craving things. Chat, am I pregnant? Anyway, so the winner takes it all. Me getting distracted. Um, and so I went to Albertsons and I looked for flowers, and I ended up getting a bouquet. I found like the bouquet. I saw like a bouquet that was like really bougie and just like conceptually was like fantastic, but I couldn't find an actual bouquet that I was like in love with at first. But I looked at the really bougie one because I was like, "Oh, that would be treating myself if it's like $75." And I looked at it and I just saw triple digits and I didn't even look further. I think it was 115, but I didn't even look closely because I was like, "No, absolutely not." And so then I saw some tulips because the thing is, I actually love like irises, tulips, lilies type, like bulb flowers. I love those kind of flowers. And so, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. No, I ended up, I saw those and I was like, how much are these? And I saw they were $35. And it came with a vase. And I was like, okay, yeah, like that's, I can do that. That's like treating myself, but reasonably, instead of $150. Um, and so I got those. I went back home. I I am oversimplifying this. Let me go back. Before that, I stopped at Walmart to get champagne, orange juice, and then like to make them mimosas. But then while I was there, I saw the strawberries were less than $4 and were cheaper than Albertsons. So I went to Albertsons. Or so I bought them before I went to Albertsons. I also bought orange juice. I was gonna buy the champagne there as well because I always buy champagne at Walmart. Spoiler alert. But everybody bought out all of the champagne that I usually buy because it's cheap. Cheap people. Um, and it's Valentine's Day. So that actually makes sense. Um, and so I can make my eyes was it's like the animes. Anyway, um, and so that's when after that I didn't get any champagne, but I went to Albertsons. I actually did see that they had it was cooked champagne, which is what it is, but it was Brut. Actually, it's not champagne. Whatever. They're both Brut. The Walmart one's Brut too, but I just call it sparkling wine champagne. Like, and what about it? Anyway, and so I um I got the champagne because it was only $7, $6.99 before tax, but still. And I wanted to make mimosas, and I was like, I just won't drink too much of it because I don't trust cooked champagne to not make me hungover. Um, and I found that bouquet. Then I left, and I went back home with my beautiful flowers. I was very happy with my purchased flowers. They made me so happy. I went home. I unfolded roses for hours, not exaggerating, and I realized I shouldn't be drinking on an empty stomach. So I made myself two salmons because it's Valentine's Day. I can't be eating like pizza rolls. I have to be eating the salmon. And I had salmon, I had frozen salmon in my freezer. So I was like, treat yourself. And so I ate those once they were ready. They took about 35 minutes to prepare. Um, and I kept unfolding the roses. And all of my other stuff, because here's the thing is I didn't order any of this stuff until yesterday. Last night, or the day before, I should say, Valentine's Day at like 9 p.m. I ordered all of this stuff. And it was all supposed to come between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Now the roses all came like right at 7 a.m. on the dot. But everything else, I just kept checking the door and checking the door. And even at 11, they weren't there yet. And they were like, sorry for the delay, your stuff will be there soon. And right when I sat down to watch my movie, after I had made the vodka infused with cream, the chocolate covered strawberries, all of that, I sit down to watch a movie called I forget what it's called in English. I think it's just called The Killer or something like that. But in Spanish, it was called like El Asesino, but like they removed the ES, so it's yeah. They made it in Morse code. I don't really know why they did that, but it was very U coded, like the series U, the hey you, like that series. It was very that coded with the narration style. But I didn't watch much of it actually because right when I started watching it, I sat down prepared to just be eating my chocolate covered strawberries and my whipped cream vodka. But then everything came, and so I had to peel 3,000 of these little petals. I had to just. Eventually, I got a technique down. I'm pretty good at them now. I actually ordered 3,000 more because I need 3,000 more. Because 3,000 wasn't enough for what I wanted to do genuinely. And I want to make sure I'm prepared so that next year it will be enough. 6,000 will be enough. I hope. I think it'll be. It should be. It better be. Anyway. Um, and so I was peeling those while I watched the movie and I was blowing up. I blew up a total, per my calculations, of 52 balloons. A mix of these, and then also two of them that say I love you. They're like a triple balloon. There's like a little heart at the bottom that says you, a bigger one that says love, and a huge one that says I on the top. And it says I love you when you read it. Um, and it was so good. It took me a long time though. And by the end of the day, I had a beautiful, like, set up Valentine's Day. It was gorgeous with it, and then I laid up all the tea candles as well. And again, I was doing all this while I was watching my movies. The first movie I watched was actually what was it? The Fanatic? I think maybe just called The Fanatic, but I think it was called The Fanatic. It was about this guy who felt like he was like betrayed by a celebrity, and then all this stuff. And so I got to watch The Fanatic because that's just when I was peeling the rose petals. But during El Asesino is whenever I didn't get to pay much attention because I was blowing up balloons, I was laying out tea lights and doing all of that stuff. So at this, meanwhile, mind you, during all of this, I can't be eating my chocolate dipped strawberries because chocolate gets all over your hands with that stuff, and it's gonna get all over these petals. And I would like to reuse these petals, and I'm not gonna reuse petals if they have year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old chocolate on them. That's nasty. And so I couldn't really eat them while I did all this. But I finished all of it. I finished all of it. So I started the day around 7. Um, and I finished getting everything set up around 2 or 3 in that range. Um, so literally like an 8-hour day to get everything set up and all that stuff. But it was so worth it. It was so fantastic. It was so beautiful. I loved my Valentine's Day. It was fantastic. I got a great clip. I learned how to use DaVinci something. It's an editing software. Apparently they used it to edit Avatar. I learned that recently. It's insane. It's a blessing though because it's free. So I was like, I think it's called DaVinci Resolve. I think that's it. I learned how to use that. I spent hours yesterday, like raging. Again, my version of raging is like, I need this to stop. That's my version of raging, not being like screaming at everybody. Like, but yeah, I started getting pretty frustrated when I was 2 to 3 hours in, and I couldn't get it from horizontal format to vertical format without having those black lines. But we got it. We got it. We figured it out. Thank God. And I made a fantastic edit. Again, at this point, you guys have probably seen it. I put it at the beginning when I mentioned it. But it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was like the best Valentine's Day that I've ever had. Now, I've only ever had, I think this would be my second one. The first one I had with my ex-girlfriend, she said that she didn't like Valentine's Day, and I was like, oh, that's what all girls say. And she'll love it whenever I surprise her. And I spent $50, which is a lot of money, by the way. Maybe even 60 on her. To get her a teddy bear, and I got her a bouquet of roses, and all of this stuff. And she did not like Valentine's Day, apparently, because she did not find that cute or romantic, it appeared. She was not happy about that. And so this would be, I think, my second Valentine's Day. I don't think I've celebrated since. And it was perfect. It was everything that I could imagine. I even had a candle. I had a candle. But I did. I had everything. The roses, the rose petals, the candle, the chocolate covered strawberries, whipped cream, vodka infused whipped cream, mind you. All homemade, by the way. Homemade the whipped cream, homemade the chocolate covered strawberries, homemade I guess the salmon was frozen. So, like, I bought it frozen, pre-made, I guess. But, like, I baked that. And, it was fantastic. Wine, mimosas, oh, it was so good. Such a blessing, y'all. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed my Valentine's Day, honestly. I no complaints. 10 out of 10. Um, we covered all the bases around 3. It's funny. So I actually put my phone in Do Not Disturb because I knew I love my mother. Okay, but like she only calls me when she needs something or to stress me out. because she's stressed out. And so I was like, I know the drill with these things. And I know today is about me, okay? It is my day. So I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And the crazy thing is, it still rang. And I could not tell you why it still rang when she called. But I was like, nope, we're not answering. This is our day. And it was a fantastic day. It was such a blessing. And I just thanked God throughout the entire day because this is my life. I get to live this wonderful life. Like, hello? Um, I should probably give you guys some background, by the way, on the background, no pun intended. So I am currently, behind me is actually two exhibits of where my sister, things my sister got, I guess, that are just stored here. So behind me here we have a fancy snake tank. I think they converted it from uh what do you call it? Like a bookshelf, I guess. I don't know. That's so antique. I don't even know what it would be. I'm assuming a bookshelf. I think they converted it from like a bookshelf or something because I mean the drawers and stuff like it just looks like a bookshelf. I'm pretty sure it was converted. She loved it. She saw it on Facebook Marketplace like years ago and she bought it. And I do think she used it for a while. Maybe. It's actually really cool. There was like moss on the walls and like rocks and stuff for the snake. It was for her snakes. She has snakes. Um, but I think she used it for a while, but she doesn't use it anymore. Same with this. Um, she used to have parakeets that lived in that. Now we no longer have parakeets. So they're my background. And that's it. That's all that's behind me. Other than that's a wall. Honestly, I thought it'd blur a lot better, and I think it would if I just need to move the camera back more and the seat up more. But I figured let's try this out because this is maximum light. We're light maxing here, and I want maximum light. I bet you right now. Hold on, let me see with my camera. I bet you right now it's saying it's overexposed. Watch, let's find out. Hold up, let me zoom in. It's saying, yep, it's saying it's overexposed. It's saying plus 1.0. Oh, let's look at the audio too. No, the audio is hitting pretty good. It looks like. Okay, that's good. Um. Anyway, so yeah, that's my background. Next episode it might be blurred. We're gonna mess around with the best place to be seated. Thank God they have this chair in storage. I mean, this chair is I don't have any chairs or anything. Genuinely, I'm always on a bed. Because my thing is I don't plan on living here forever, so I don't want to like fully furnish it or anything. And so I'm just going with what I got, which is a bed in the bedroom, which I never used to be honest, because I got so in the habit of sleeping in the living room at this point. But I have a bed in the bedroom and a bed in the living room. But the bed in the living room is supposed to serve as like the couch, but like it's multi-purpose. Um, but the bed in the bedroom is supposed to be my main bed. But when I first moved in, I was so freaked out because I'm like, I wasn't. I'm an anxious person naturally, and now I was like, I can't even say it's because I'm living alone. Like that's part of it, yes, but like I'm just an anxious person naturally, so like I wasn't familiar with the normal noises and stuff. And so I didn't want to be I wanted to sleep in the living room because there was like windows everywhere and doors everywhere and all this stuff. And so we got it all worked out. But yeah, at this point I barely actually sleep on my actual bed, which I'm sure is way better for me because it's quite comfortable, and I paid a lot of money for that bed. So I really, I gotta start using it. But for now, I'm sticking with what I know, and I'm trying to keep it as minimal as possible so that I don't have to move out a ton of stuff. Um, but yeah, we're gonna leave it at that for the video. For the video, yeah, actually for the video and audio for the podcast today. Um, but yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Um, if you enjoyed, please give it a good rating. Give it a like, 5 stars if you're on a different platform, whatever it may be. Um, thank you all so much for listening and watching. Once I start uploading these to YouTube, I have to figure that out. Because I don't think you can do audio and video on Spotify, can you? I don't know if you can. But if you're watching the video as well, thank you so much for watching. And if it's just the audio, thank you so much for listening. I love you all. Let me know what you think of the camera quality, the video, all of that stuff. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys. Oh, and no, the drunk podcast separate from this one is coming. It hasn't been forgotten.